Hello everyone, ARG back with some more Franchise Hockey Manager 8. And today the calendar flipped over. We are now in 1993, January is the month obviously, and we're trying to keep our heads afloat here. We're trying to not sink and die. We have a lot of injuries, so today I might not have a trade for you guys, but I do have a lot of injuries. So how about that, right? Thankfully, a lot of them are not gonna be much longer, but that means that I have a lot of half-star players in the lineup, and that is not great, obviously. As far as the standings go, we are 6th in the conference. We are kind of holding our own despite all of the injuries and everything, but we have been missing Gretzky, and we've been missing a decent D since I started. I've been really struggling to put together a good D, so that's on me, I suppose. And it's not for lack of trying. I tried to sign Ray Bork as a free agent. I tried to sign Gary Suter as a free agent. I tried to trade for Glenn Wesley. I tried things, it's just not working. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get going here. The weather is pretty bad where I live. Hopefully I don't lose my stream or lose power or internet or something like that, but it's kind of sleeting. So who knows what's going to happen. Alright. Kirk Muller has a strong game. Still playing for the Devils, he had 4 assists against the Capitals. In that same game... Come on, you know you want to delete. There you go. In that same game, as I was saying, Bernie Nichols extended his assist streak to 8 games. He had an assist in that game. Bruce McNall is still satisfied with my work, but not more than that. Scott Arneal could be back soon. Mike Foligno has been put on the trading block by the Buffalo Sabres. And I need to assign a number to Scott Allison. Obviously, I'm not going to give him number 11. Or about number 14. There you go. Oh, he's a bit upset, huh? Well, learn to deal with it. How about that? Alright, so we are hosting the Montreal Canadiens to start the month of January. Montreal is 16, 19, and 5. We are 1-0 against Montreal. We did beat them at home earlier. It was a 6-3 victory at that time. Let's see if we can beat them. Hey, FJ, you haven't been there for a little bit. How have you been? Like, you missed my stream where Stéphane Lebeau scored the game winner against me, and I had a thought for you when that happened. Oh yeah? Well, it happens to the best of us. Alright, let's see if I can beat FJ's team here to start the month. How about that? With all of my injuries. Patrick was going to be in net for the Habs. Artus Earbase in net for the Kings. Go Kings! Oh, it's a 3-3 tie. I guess I'll take it. Seeing as how many injuries I have, I guess we can call that almost a victory. Oh, yeah. Everybody at my house got COVID except for me. But yeah, I know the feeling. Alright, so we tied 3-3 against the Habs. They did outshoot us 43-37. Luc Robitaille was the first star with a game. He had a goal and an assist. Claude Lemieux was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Rob Brown was the third star with a goal. Sellout crowd in Inglewood for this game. No scoring in the first. Then in the second period, Montreal scored first. Then Rob Brown tied the game unassisted. Then Montreal took the lead again. It was 2-1 Montreal after 2. Rob Brown got into a fight with Chris Chelios. Then in the third period, Montreal took a 3-1 lead, but then, we scored 2 goals within 21 seconds in the last minute of the game to tie the game. That's pretty good. First was Luc Robitaille on the power play, unassisted, and then Alexei Gusarov on the power play as well from Luc Robitaille and Robert Reichel. That was tied at 3, of course. Nobody scored in overtime, and we had a 3-3 tie to start the month. Oh, dear God. When I go on vacation and I don't have access to my computer, I start twitching after like 3 days. Yeah, you must not have had a great time with the this season in real life in the NHL. Alright, as a ticket and suspension ends with the Oilers, he's back in the lineup. Mario Lemieux scored 400 goals in his career, 2 goals and 2 assists against the Rangers. Mario Lemieux is 27, and of course he is a 5-star player. That was 5 straight games with a goal for him. Suspension over for Dusan Pasic with the Nordiques back in the lineup. Greg Adams extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Sharks. Bernie Nichols' assist streak ended at 8 games. He did score a goal though, so his point streak continues. That was against the Hawks. Alright, don't care. Scott Arniel is close to return. Andrew Castles is close to return. Ray Shepherd is close to return. Shane Wright is not the consensus #1 pick anymore. Like, he's not having like the greatest season. That would be terrible for Montreal. Like let's say you win the first overall pick and you select Shane Wright and he ends up being okay but not like a really great player like he's supposed to be. That would be terrible for the Habs. Not only are your centers not all that great, but you would put stock into that young guy and he would like disappoint. That would be terrible. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 12 games. He had a goal and an assist against the Blues. Dale Hawerchuk extends his point streak to 12 games as well with an assist against the Hawks. Dirk Graham is back from suspension in Chicago. Brian Dobbin with the Oilers is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Ray Ferraro has produced 600 points in his career. He got 4 assists against the North Stars. Ray Ferraro is 28 and he's a 4-star player. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Ray Ferraro. As we just saw, he had 4 assists. Andrew Castles is close to returning, and Ray Shepherd as well. That's gonna definitely help. Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. Like, those guys are losing like very important years of development due to COVID and whatnot, so we have a few days off here, which is good for us because we have a lot of injuries, so that permits our player to recover. A few of them did, actually. Big game for Claude Lemieux at Montreal. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Sharks. Yevsukin suspension ends with the Rangers back in the lineup. Scott Arniel is completely recovered. Andrew Castles is completely recovered. Ray Shepherd is almost completely recovered. Let's see here. Okay, Arniel can come back. I'm gonna send Addison back down. One more day off. Dale Chuck's point streak ended at 12 games. Was held scoreless against the Flames. Red light stays on for Matt Sundin, who plays for St. Louis in my universe. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Oilers. And Ray Shepherd is completely recovered. And we're about to get Gretzky back as well. He's day to day. God, we missed him. Right, Shepherd coming back. And I'm gonna send Arvidsson down. Yeah, Lafreniere. I'm kind of happy to have ended up with Stützle. Now, Stützle doesn't necessarily get all the points and everything, but man, it's so awesome to watch him play. Yeah, it's tough for Lafreniere, my countryman, my country brother. Alright, we're ready to play against the Lightning. Lightning is going to be in town. We are hosting them. They are 12, 24, and 5. That's good for 11th in the conference. All things considered, it could be a lot worse for an expansion team of that era. My fellow French, Quebec-speaking person of French origin. Yes. Yep, a Quebecer. Alright, and we did lose against Tampa Bay the first game that we played against them. We lost 4-3, so we are looking to avenge that. Craig Bennington is going to be in net for the Lightning. Arthur Serbe is in net for us. Go Kings! Oh dear God, we lost against the Lightning again. I'm going to go and cry in the bathroom a little. We were outshot 38-22 on top of that. Wow. Peter Zezel was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Paul McDermott was the second star with 2 assists. And that's Dave Brown. I think Doug Brown was the third star with 2 assists. Sellout crowd for a pathetic display again. Yeah. That's okay. Oh, yeah. So, like last week or something, no, Arthur Serbe started that game. So, one of the last times that you were on, we were talking about cool hockey names, and I forgot about one that I like. And he used to play for the Sens for a little bit. His name is Rob Klingkammer. I think that it's a pretty freaking awesome name for a hockey player. Anyway, I wanted to say that. Alright, so lost 5-2 at home against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay scored twice in the first period. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. We had a fight between between Adam Burt and Sylvain Couturier. Then in the second period, Luc Robitaille scored from Robert Frackel and Alexei Gusarov, cut the lead in half. Tampa Bay was up 2-1 after 2. Then we tied the game. Alexander Mogilny scored on the power play from Luc Robitaille and Alexei Gusarov. It was tied at 2, and then Tampa Bay scored 3 unanswered goals, and we lost 5-2. Jeez. Nah, he was a forward. He played until very recently. He's still probably active somewhere, maybe in Europe or something like that. Or in the AHL or something like that. He's not all that old. He must be like around 30 or something. And the Sens also have a prospect that has a really cool name. His name is Angus Cruikshank. That's also a pretty cool name. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 13 games with an assist against the Whalers. Dino Ciccarelli extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals and 3 assists against the Devils. Pretty good game. Prolific passing for Bruce Driver in that same game. He had 5 assists. Teemu Selanne has a great game. He had 4 assists in that same game. Brendan Shan in that same game had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Brian Lawton lights the lamp in Toronto. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Vancouver Canucks. And Randy Wood is starting to feel better. That's good. Radek Bonk, yeah, a little bit. He played for Montreal near the end of his career. Of course, the big bulk of his good play was with the Sens, I think. John Blum has been put on waivers. Suspension for Kelly Buckberger, suspended in Washington, gonna miss 3 games. Brian Bellows has reached 500 assists. He had a goal and an assist against Pittsburgh. Brian Bellows is 28 and he is a 4.5-star player. Doug Gilmour earned 500 assists as well with a goal and an assist against the Blues. Doug Gilmour is 29 and he's a 5-star player. And a big game for Brett Hull. In that same game he had a hat-trick. Kings are now in Winnipeg. Little road trip. Actually, that might do us good. We play better on the road usually. Winnipeg is 23-17. That's good for 5th in the conference. We have now dropped to 8th. That's not great. Even the Leafs are ahead of us. I might just delete that save. The Leafs are ahead of me. It's unacceptable. All right. So we are 1-2 against Winnipeg this season. So let's see. Artis Airby is going to be in net for us. Curtis Joseph is going to be in net for the Jets. And we won 7-3. Yeah, I saw that David Desharnais is going to be at the Olympics. So is Eric Stahl. Alright, so we won 7-3 on the road in Winnipeg. Great game for the Kings. We outshot Winnipeg 40-27. Rob Brown was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Luc Robitaille was the second star with 2 goals and an assist. And Robert Lang was the third star with a goal and an assist. Let's see. Luc Robitaille opened up the scoring in the first on the power play from Andrew Castles. Then he scored again 59 seconds later from Alexander McGillney and Andrew Castles. 2-0 Kings at that point. Then the Jets tied the game. And then we scored Rob Brown from Robert Lang and Randy Ladouceur. It was 3-2 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, Winnipeg scored to tie the game at 3. Then Gary Galley scored from Alexander McGillney and Luc Robitaille. 4-3 Kings after 2. Then in the third period, Mike Ridley scored unassisted, made it 5-3. Then Rob Brown from Adam Burt and Al Seckard. And then Robert Lang from Rob Brown and Al Seckard. And we won 7-3. Jared Stahl, yep, sorry. And Scott Arniel is injured again. Oh, he's day to day. We should be okay. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 14 games. He had an assist against the Islanders. Mike Hudson has been put on the trade block by the Blackhawks, and then we have a trade proposal from the Jets. Yep, and he's also the captain in Carolina. Alright, they want to trade me Jason Herter for Ken Gerlander. I'm going to say no. have one day off. John Blum has been put on waivers yet again. Gaetan Duchesne is hurt in Quebec. He's going to miss 4 weeks. Scott Young keeps fans on their feet all night in Hartford. He had 3 goals and 3 assists against the Nordiques in that same game. Link Gates in Minnesota is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Sean Chambers will take 4 months to recover from a torn elbow ligament. So that's going to hurt the North Stars, who are already not having a really good season. Brett Hull is also hurt. He's day-to-day, however. He's going to miss about a week. Kovalenko is suspended in Edmonton. He's going to miss 7 games. Brian Dubin is back from suspension in Edmonton. And Gretzky is almost recovered. Thank God. Oh man, that's going to be really tough. Win the Stanley Cup as the Nordiques using only French players. Oh, I better, draft Patrick Roy, Ray Bourque, and all of those guys. Alright, so we are in Chicago to play against the Hawks. Hawks are pretty good. They are second in the conference, leader of their division with a 25-15-4 record. We are 0-1-1 against the Blackhawks. The loss was a trouncing. It was 11-3, so... Alright, let's see if we can turn our luck around against the Hawks and get our first win of the season against them. Arthur Serbe in net yet again. Wendell Young in net for the Blackhawks. Go Kings! Another 7-2 win. There you go. We are a road team. I don't know what it is about us, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to play as the Habs. Alright, so Chicago outshot us 35-34 in that one. Alexander Mogilny. Oh, great game for Mogilny here. First star, 3 goals, 3 assists. Andrew Castles was the second star with 3 assists, and Luc Robitaille was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. So Mogilny opened up the scoring in the first period. That was his 20th of the season on the power play from Luc Robitaille and Andrew Castles. Then the Blackhawks tied the game, and it was 1-1 after 1. We scored 4 unanswered goals in the second period. Ray Shepherd scored on the power play from Luc Robitaille and Alexander Mogilny. Then Mogilny scored unassisted. Then Ray Shepherd scored again on the power play. It was his 15th of the season from Andrew Castles and Alexander Mogilny. Then Mogilny completed his hat-trick from Gusarov and Andrew Castles. It was 5-1 Kings after 2. Then in the third period, Gerald Deduck scored his 5th of the season from Gary Volk and Al Seckard. Then the Blackhawks scored, made it 6-2, and then Luc Robitaille scored his 25th on the power play from Ray Shepherd and Alexander Mogilny. 7-2 the final score. No, Mogilny had a few good seasons, but his first season he scored 76 goals. Ken Gernander improves at left wing. That's good for him. Then, as we saw, Mogilny scored a hat-trick, 3 goals, 3 assists against the Blackhawks. That was pretty good. Yeah, but he had other good season, even with New Jersey, which New Jersey was always known for playing more defensively. He had a few good seasons there as well. I mean, not 76 goal seasons, but he still was producing. Like, he started like really high, and then he kind of dipped, and then kind of started to play better again, and then dipped again. Actually, we can go and look at that real quick. Oops, sorry, that wasn't his first season that he scored 76 goals. My bad. But yeah, he also had 107-point season with the Canucks, 73 points. Then he kind of dipped, and then he had like that 83-point season with the Devils, and then he had that 79-point season with the Leafs. I did not know that. But yeah. So yeah, he kind of dipped. So he was kind of good right there. Then he had some injury issues with the Canucks and whatnot. And then he kind of had a resurgence with the Devils, and then played well with Toronto as well. All right, let's advance this. Pierre Turgeon extends his point streak to 15 games with a goal against the Flames. Suspension for Dave McElwain in Edmonton. He's going to miss 3 games. Edmonton's getting a lot of suspensions this month. Mario Lemieux is day-to-day with an injury. Phil Bourque is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Sorry. Before getting hurt, Mario Lemieux extended his assist streak to 8 games. He had 2 goals and an assist against the Jets prior to getting hurt. Scott Arniel is almost ready, and so is Wayne Gretzky, maybe a little bit more importantly. Strong night for Thomas Sandstrom in New York. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Canucks. And Wayne Gretzky is almost recovered. I think he's probably going to come back after this game against the Sens. Alright, so Ottawa. So we're playing in Ottawa against the Sens. That's their first season. Their team is a little bit better than it was in real life after the draft. They drafted it a little bit better in my sim than they did in real life. I also traded them a star player. So Ottawa is now 9-34-1. We have not played them. Let's take a look, and I'm gonna check at our old friend Mike Gartner and see if he's doing okay over there. Sorry. So the Sens have Ron Tugnut and David Delfino in net. Paul Cavallini, Ken Daneko, Dominic Lavoie, Bob Rouse, Alexander Zdan, and Sean Anderson, I believe. Yeah, Sean Anderson on D. Up front they have Aaron Broughton, Bob Airy, Ilya Sinisalo, Dave Volek, Danton Coe, Steve Casper, Jason Lafreniere, Stephen Leach, Alexei Yashin, Klimovich, Barchevsky, Gage, Mike Gartner, Gustafsson, and Joey Kosher. That is still better. That is on pace to be better than what they did in real life. In real life, the Sens in their first season had 10 wins, 70 losses, and 4 ties. Yeah, the Abs are not playing very well. Let's see if Gartner... Yeah, Gartner has been okay with the Sens, but he doesn't have star talent around him, so he's kind of slowing down a little bit. He has 9 points in 15 games with him since I traded him. You didn't know that? You didn't know that the Sens won 10 games in their inaugural season? 10 wins, 70 losses, and 4 ties. Surprisingly, they won their first game of the season against Montreal. That was a 5-3 win. So we won the first game, and then we didn't win on the road until the second to last or last game on the road of the season. That was against the Islanders. So we didn't win on the road all season until second to last or last game of the season against the Islanders. All right, so we are in Ottawa. Let's win this. Artis Irbe in net for the Kings. Ron Tugnut in net for the Sens. Go Kings! Oh, we barely won, but we won. Yeah, it wasn't very good, huh? Alright, so we won 5-4. It was a tight game. We even got outshot by Ottawa 36-34. Robert Cron was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Ilya Sinisalo was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Alexander McGillney was the third star with 2 goals. Alright, we didn't attract 10,000 people, so the Kings, probably because Gretzky wasn't there. I didn't, because since games weren't really broadcasted in where I was from back in the day, and I was still a fan of the Nordiques as well. Alright, so Gary Galley opened up the scoring on the power play. It was his 10th of the season from Luc Robitaille and Ray Shepherd. Then the Sens tied the game, and then Alexander McGillney gave us the lead back from Gerald Deduck and Robert Cron. 2-1 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, the Sens tied the game, and then we scored twice. Alexander McGillney from Robert Reichel and Robert Cron. Then Robert Reichel from Robert Cron and Alexei. I have a lot of Roberts on my team. Robert Reichel from Robert Cron and Alexei Gusarov. 4-2 Kings after 2. Then in the third period, Ray Shepherd scored from Alexei Gusarov and Luc Robitaille, made it 5-2. Then the Sens scored twice. It was 5-4, but we held on and we got the win. Jeff Smith converts to right defense. All right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that sets us back. And of course, Deg is, famous for saying nobody remembers who was picked second, right? Because he was so proud to be picked first, and he was like, nobody remembers who gets picked second. Yeah, the guy that got picked second in that draft was Chris Pronger, and I think people do remember him. Pierre Turgeon's point streak ended at 15 games. He was held scoreless against the Bruins. Dave Gagne extends his point streak to 12 games. He had a goal against the Blackhawks. Scott Arniel on the verge of returning. That'd be great. And Wayne Gretzky is finally recovered after being hurt for 3 friggin' months. Let's put Gretzky in the lineup. And Alex X back down. All right. Technically, yes, I can. I can also have Ed Ronan, but none of them are gonna be on my team. Montreal loses Derek King to injury. He has a broken collarbone and he's out for 6 weeks. Ron Francis extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal against the Habs. And Scott Arniel is completely recovered. And we're finally playing a game with Wayne Gretzky in the lineup. We are playing in New Jersey against the Devils. They are having a decent season, 22-17-3. Very similar record to us. And we are 0-1 against the Devils this season. Yeah. You have the guy that's really good behind the net with the guy that won't back check. That's going to be pretty awesome. All right. Alrighty. Let's get this thing started now, shall we? Wayne Gretzky is in the lineup, so he's gonna do a lot of 6-point games. He has a lot of ground to make up for if he wants to finish first scorer in the league. Artis Irbe is going to be in net for us. Wayne Colley is going to be in net for the Devils. Go Kings! Praise Gretzky, who's back. And we lost 5-3. Oh! Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that it would work all that great. Alright, so we lost 5-3 in New Jersey. We got outshot 31-28. Kirk Muller was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Al Seckard was the second star with a goal. And Teemu Selanne was the third star with 2 goals. Devils scored 3 unanswered goals in the first period, and we were down 3-0 after 1. Then they made it 4-0 in the second when Gary Gatti scored from Robert Cron and Alexander McGillney. So it's 4-1. Then the Devils made it 5-1 before the end of the period. So we were down 4 heading into the third period. And then Al Seckard scored unassisted, made it 5-2. And then Wayne Gretzky scored unassisted. And it was a 5-3 loss. Dave Gagne extends his point streak to 13 games. He had an assist against the Hawks. Oh, have you managed to rob an old lady on her way out to the bank yet or something to get cash to get a PS5 so that we can like play games or something? Stop being too soft, son. Larry Murphy extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Islanders. Oh, lack of old lady. Man. People die young in Norway or something. Bugberger's suspension ends. He is back in the lineup in Washington. Memorable night for Pat Falloon. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Nordiques. Oh yeah, because in case you didn't know, the abs in my universe have Pat Falloon. Oh, okay. And Brian Trothier might retire after this season. Alright, we have a day off, then we're back at home. Memorable night for Peter Klima. He had 3 goals and an assist. He's one of the goal scoring leaders this season. Peter Klima is. So 3 goals and an assist against the Sharks. Ron Francis point streak ended at 12 games. Didn't get a point against the Oilers. And Richard Crom is on the trading block from the Islanders. Maybe I need to get Game Pass on the computer. Sorry, I have a bad shoulder. I think I have arthritis, and this is not a joke. I really think I have arthritis. I'm at that age, and whenever it gets cold outside, it looks like my limbs start to hurt out of nowhere. Alright, we are hosting the Jets. Jets are 24-20 and nothing at this point. They are 5th in the conference. We are 2-2 against the Jets. Curtis Joseph is in net for the Jets. Artis Irbe is in net for us. Let's see if Gretzky's return is going to help at home. Go Kings! Oh dear God, we lost 8-3. Maybe I'm going to put Gretzky in the minors or something. We got destroyed 8-3 at home against the Jets. We were outshot 32-27. Dale Howardchuk was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. Frederick Lawson was the second star with a goal and 3 assists. And Pat Ellenach was the third star with a goal and 3 assists as well. Sellout crowd in Inglewood for this bad game. The Jets scored 4 goals in the first period, and we were down 4-0 after 1. That's terrible. Gerald Deduck and Andy Brickley got to fight each other. Yeah, I know. I don't know what Francois Graves is doing. My new coach is not using him at all. Andrew Castle scored in the second period on the power play from Wayne Gretzky and Ray Shepherd. It was 4-1 for the Jets at that point. Then they scored again, made it 5-1. And we scored twice. Robert Reichel from Scott Arniel and Joe Rickey. And then Wayne Gretzky scored his 10th from Al Seckard. 5-3. Then the Jets scored, made it 6-3. Ray Shepherd and Frederick Lawson got into a scrap as well in the second period, and then the Jets scored twice in the third period, made it 8-3, and complete our complete humiliation. Yeah, I know. I didn't have a lot of choices. There weren't. That's a good one, FJ. No, but I didn't have a whole lot of choices with, the letters, so I was kind of limited. Great night for Dale Auerchuk. As we saw, he had 3 goals and an assist against us. Dave Gagne extends his point streak to 14 games with 2 assists against the Flames. Suspension over for Link Gates in Minnesota. He is back in the lineup. Alright, so the Tiger, sorry, not the Tiger. Jean Perron is not the Tiger, that's Michel Bergeron. Jean Perron is on the hot seat in Uniondale. The Islanders are 12-30-3, so he might be losing his coaching job here soon. Dave Manson in Chicago is out with a fractured knee. He's gonna miss 4 months. See you next season. And no miss time for Kevin Deneen with the Waiters not suspended. Alright, we have a couple of days off, and then we're going to be playing in Edmonton against the Oilers. Pat Jablonski has been put on waivers by Toronto. Memorable night for Phil Housley. He had 4 assists against the Oilers. Dave McElwain is back in the lineup in Edmonton after serving his suspension. Mark Howe in Philadelphia is injured. He's gonna miss 9 months with a ruptured disc. See you next year. Larry Murphy extends his assist streak to 9 games with 2 assists against Tampa Bay. And Steve Larmer just extended with the Blackhawks. That's a 3-year extension. Yeah, what is his name? Alistair Hamilton from Baltimore. Maybe I need to go talk to him about Cal Ripken Jr. or something. Alright, we have a day off, and then we're gonna be in Edmonton. Alright, the Oilers are 24-23-1. That's good for 5th in the conference. We are 2-1 against the Oilers this season. I would love to make it 3-1 because we are chasing them. We have 3 games on hand as well, so I'd love to be within 1 point of them with 3 games on hand. That would be good. We still are winless with Gretzky back in the lineup. Oh, Francois Gravel, there you go. There you go, FJ. We've got Francois Gravel in net facing Bill Ranford. Go Kings! And we lost 4-3. We are unable to win with Gretzky back in the lineup. Gretzky is a bad apple. I don't know if Ripken Jr. would have been a good hockey player. I know that Tom Glavine had been drafted by the Bruins, but he decided to go with baseball. Edmonton outshot us 29-24 in this 4-3 loss in Edmonton. Mark Messier was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Luc Robitaille was the second star with a goal. And Steve Smith was the third star with 2 assists. Yeah, I suppose. Alright, Alexander Mogilny opened up the scoring in the first. That was his 25th of the season from Andrew Castles. Then Scott Arneal scored from Randy Ladouceur. It was 2-0. Then the Oilers tied the game. And then Luc Robitaille scored from Ray Shepherd and Gary Galley. We were up 3-2. And then Edmonton tied the game again. It was 3-3 after 1. Then in the second period, Edmonton scored to make it 4-3. And there was a fight between Craig Simpson and Jeff Smith. And then in the third period, nobody scored, and a fight between Steve Smith and Gerald Deduck. What's going on with Gretzky? Maybe I should trade him. Why do you want for me to be the Sabres goalie for a game? Yeah, but I would be a terrible goaltender. I really would have been a defenseman that I played, hockey. Dave Gagne's point streak ended at 14 games. Didn't get a point against the Lightning. Mario Lemieux extends his assist streak to 9 games. He had an assist against the Canucks. Randy Wood ready for contact. Okay, come back, buddy. That'd be great. Sure, I did play goalie in gymnasium hockey in high school. Got my nose broken. That was fun. Randy Wood ahead of schedule. I could use Randy Wood back in the lineup. That'd be great. Oh, dear God, we have a long home stretch. So we're playing at home for the next 5 games until the end of the month. And we're not really good at home, so that's a little bit worrying. So now we're going to be facing the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks are 21-19-6. That's good for 6th in the conference. We are 1-3 against the Canucks this season. Yeah, I'd love a Gravel win. But it's Irbe that's going to be in net. He's going to be facing Kirk McLean. We're back home. We still haven't won with Gretzky back in the lineup. Go Kings. Come on. We lost 4-3, man. Oh boy. Alright, so we outshot Vancouver 42-32. Greg Adams was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Ray Shepherd was the second star with 3 assists. And Doug Lidster was the third star with 2 assists. Sellout crowd in Inglewood yet again. Canucks opened up the scoring in the first. Then we scored twice. Robert Reichel from Ray Shepherd and Scott Arneal. Then Wayne Gretzky from Luc Robitaille and Ray Shepherd. 2-1 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, Vancouver tied the game. It was tied at 2. Then in the third period, Vancouver took a 4-2 lead. Then Robert Reichel scored his 20th from Randy Ladouceur and Ray Shepherd. It was 4-3 with 6:33 left to go in the game, and we just couldn't tie the game. Then we had a fight between Rob Brown and Mike Hartman, and that's another loss. We're not doing good. Yeah, I know, I have a nice losing streak, huh? Larry Murphy extends his assist streak to 10 games with an assist against the Hawks. Brettel has produced 300 goals in his career. He had a goal and an assist against Detroit. Brettel is 28 and a 5-star player. And that was 5 straight games with a goal for him. And then Randy Wood. That's why we're losing. We don't have Randy Wood. Gretzky is not going to make a difference. Randy Wood is. And he's completely recovered now, so now we're going to start winning. Suspension for Paul Gillis with the Nordiques. He's going to be suspended for 5 games. Mario Lemieux extends his assist streak to 10 games with an assist against the Oilers. Great game for Chris Chelios with Montreal. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Devils. Randy Wood is completely recovered. And Kerry Hoffman has been put on the block by the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we are finally fully recovered. Oh, I have to put him on waivers, so I won't do that. I'm gonna send down. Oh, oh no, okay. I can send down Robert Lang. I will. Alright, we're now hosting the New York Rangers. They are 18-21-8. We have not played the Rangers so far this season, so let's take a look at their lineup. Alright, so Tony Amonte is hurt. He's not going to play this game. Neither is Brian Mullen, and neither is Alexander Koreshkov. Now the Rangers in net have Peter Sidorkiewicz and John Van Beesbrook. Wow. If you're to play Scrabble, you can win the game just by the last name of the 2 goaltenders playing for the Rangers. Alright. Then on D they have Peter Aola, Brian Leach, Ken Sutton, Jeff Bucheboom, Norm McIver, James Patrick, Michel Petit, and Paul Stanton. Up front they have Ulf Dallin, Hodgson Ogrodnik, Smith Koreshkov, Todd Elick, Fergus, Kisio, Turcotte, Isobart, Yevsukin, Granato, and Sandstrom. Alright, so now that we got the pillar back in the lineup, Randy Wood, we are going to win. John Van Beesbrook in net for the Rangers, Art Suserbe in net for us. Go Kings! Oh dear God, we lost 6-5. Oh, I don't know what to do anymore. I can do this, and then I can give up, I suppose. Oh God, look at that. We outshot them 51-39. So again, we didn't get the goaltending at all. Paul Isobart was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Andrew Castles was the second star with 2 goals, and Norm McIver was the third star with 2 assists. Yeah, with my French accent. No, let's see. Peter Sidorkiewicz, Peter Sidorkiewicz, Peter Sidorkiewicz, Peter Sidorkiewicz, Peter Sidorkiewicz. Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. I did okay. Alright, so the Kings lost another game, folks. We are in free fall mode. We had a sellout crowd, so there's still people believing in the Kings in California. I'm sure that JT Dutch is one of them. Alright, so Rangers scored twice in the first period. Then Alexander McGillney scored on the power play from Ray Shepherd and Wayne Gretzky. Then the Rangers scored 2 more goals, and we were down 4-1 after 1. Then in the second period, Andrew Castle scored from Wayne Gretzky and Joe Rickey. Then the Rangers scored, it was 5-2. Then Ray Shepherd scored from Wayne Gretzky and Jeff Smith, and then Andrew Castle's unassisted. It was 5-4 for the Rangers after 2. Then in the third period, Luc Robitaille tied the game from Alexei Gusarov and Gerald Deduck. But then the Rangers scored with 4:42 left to go. And we lost 6-5. Couldn't tie the game again. Winless since Gretzky came back. I think I'm gonna need to trade him. Wow, that you didn't make it far. It is a tricky name to say, just like Curtis Leseshin. Well, Lessishan is not so hard to say as it is to spell correctly without looking it up. Ray Bourque has recorded 1,000 games played in his career. He had 2 goals and an assist to celebrate that. That was against the Devils. Ray Bourque is 32 and still a 5-star defenseman. Joel Otto is suspended in Calgary. He's going to be missing 3 games. I don't know. Kind of curious. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 12 games. He had 1 goal against the Flames. Mario Lemieux's assist streak ended in 10 games, so he did score but didn't get an assist. Sylvain Turgeon extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against the Blackhawks. Doug Brown is hurt in Tampa Bay. He's going to miss 4 months. Pat Ellenuk has a memorable game with the Jets. He had a hat-trick against the Oilers. Andrei Kovalenko is back from suspension in Edmonton. Strong night for Larry Murphy. He had 5 goals and an assist against the Sens. Woo! And that was 11 straight games with an assist for him. I don't know what I could get for Gretzky. That's an interesting question. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to try to trade him before the next stream. I'm not against trading Gretzky. I can definitely make my team better by trading him. At least I would think I can. Alright, so we have 2 days off. Rich Chernomaz in Philadelphia was suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Sylvain Turgeon extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal. And a night to remember for Scott Young. He had a hat-trick against the Flyers. Right, 3 games left here, all on home ice. We are about to play against the Sharks. Sharks are 8-38-3. That's good for dead last in the conference, and it's not even close. We are 4-0 against the Sharks this season. It's gonna be bad if I lose this game as well. Glenn Healy is going to be in net for the Sharks. Arthur Serbe still in net for us. Go Kings! That's the team to turn it around against. Oh yeah, we won 7-1. There you go. That's more like it. We outshot the Sharks 36-13. Alexander McGillney was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Ray Shepherd was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Andrew Castles was the third star with 2 assists as well. Sellout crowd in Inglewood. We scored 4 unanswered goals in the first period. Wayne Gretzky scored from Ray Shepherd and Luc Robitaille. Then Wayne Gretzky again on the power play from Andrew Castles and Ray Shepherd. Robert Reichel scored on the power play from Mike Ridley and Alexei Gusarov. And then Alexander McGillney from Andrew Castles and Randy Wood. 4-0 Kings after 1. Then in the second period, Ray Shepherd scored on a power play from Gary Galley, made it 5-0. Then the Sharks scored, made it 5-1, and then we scored twice. Scott Arneal for Mike Ridley and Rob Brown, and then Alexander McGillney from Luc Robitaille and Robert Reichel, 7-1 for the Kings after 2. Then nobody scored in the third period, and that was a 7-1 decisive win that we kind of needed. Oh, that's a good question. Do you mean like in real life or in the game per se? In the game, I think so, yes. In real life, back then, maybe. But it's... I mean, look at some of the... Just recently, just look at the package that Carlson got back for the Sens. I mean, that's crazy. The Sens basically got their first and second line center out of the deal, plus, you know, other players put in there as well. So was Carlson worth it for the Sharks? I don't think so, but I'm not complaining. So I don't think that as good as a player is going to be, and especially nowadays with the cap and everything, making those kind of trades, you're kind of depleting your lineup. So you're kind of getting like that superstar, but you have to shed so many good parts out that your star player ends up too often being poorly surrounded. But it was a little bit different back then without the cap. So back then it was worth it a little bit more, I think. Yeah, but then, you can have a guy that would score 40 without Gretzky and, have two of those. Yeah, or like Mario Lemieux with Rob Brown. Injury forces Jean-Jacques Daigneault out, so Daigneault plays for Washington, and he's gonna be out 5 months with a fractured knee. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 13 games with an assist against the Caps. Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal and an assist in that same game, and that was 12 straight games with an assist for him. Phil Bourque is back from suspension with Pittsburgh. A night to remember for Brettel. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Suns. And in that same game, Sundin had a goal and 4 assists. Alright, Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal against the Buffalo Sabres. However, he didn't get an assist, so his streak ended at 12 games. Steve Yzerman has reached 300 goals in his career. He had a goal against the Oilers. Sylvain Turgeon extends his goal streak to 7 games with a goal and an assist against Montreal. And Doug Wilson extends his assist streak to 8 games with 2 assists against the Canucks. Alright, the Flames are in town. The Flames are the reigning Stanley Cup champions, and they are atop of the conference with a 34-15-1 record. We are 2-2 against the Flames this season. A win here would feel pretty fantastic. Mike Vernon is going to be in net for the Flames. Artur Sirbe is going to be in net for the Kings. And of course, go Kings, because we want to win. We lost 4-3. We've been losing a lot of one-goal games. Yikes. We got outshot 42-37. Hacken Lube was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Ray Shepard was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Gary Suter was the third star with 2 assists. Another sellout crowd in Inglewood. Yeah, Gravel, you might want to send a petition. Alright, nobody scored in the first period. Then in the second, Andrew Castle scored his 20th on the power play from Rob Brown and Ray Shepard. Then the Flames scored twice, and then we scored twice. Ray Shepard from Wayne Gretzky and Scott Arniel, and then Luke Robitaille from Gerald Deduck and Ray Shepard. 3-2 Kings after 2. Then in the third period, the Flames scored twice, and that was a 4-3 victory for the Flames. So another loss for the Kings, who are having a bad month. And Gary Galley is hurt. That's not going to help nothing. Oh god, he's out for 2-3 months. Yeah, my AHL goalie is Dwayne Rolosson. Alright, Gary Galley is out for 3 months with torn biceps. So we've lost pretty much our only puck-moving defenseman. No further punishment for Laurie Boschman with the Jets. Not suspended over there. Randy Carlyle has earned 500 assists in his career with 2 goals and an assist against Boston. Open ice leads to a productive night for Brian Bellows. He had 4 assists against the Devils. Memorable night for Dino Ciccarelli. He had a hat trick in that same game, and it was 5 straight games with a goal for him. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 14 games with 2 assists against the Islanders. Pavel Bure has a good game playing for the Blues. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Lightning. And there was no stopping Brettel in that same game. He also had a hat trick, 3 goals. What do I do with Arthur Sirbe? And Rolason is only a half-star player. He's not ready yet. Picks and prospects, huh? Alright, Mark Jansen set everything up tonight. He had 4 assists against the Blackhawks. Good game for Rick Vive. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Sharks. Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 14 games. He had a goal and 2 assists against the Nordiques. A strong game for Jeff Sanderson. With the Capitals, he had 3 goals and 2 assists against the Nordiques as well. Will Ross Courtnall be traded? So Ross Courtnall has been put on the block by the Maple Leafs. There's been a trade between the Lightning and the Devils. Sean Antoski goes to the Lightning for Mark Napier. Yeah, that's an inconsequential trade. Napier is nearing retirement, and he's kind of not doing much, and Sean Antoski is kind of a tough guy that's probably not gonna develop past his half-star. I don't know how good he is. 3.18 and a 895 save percentage. And then I forgot to take care of Gary Galley. Now that I think about that. So Galley goes to the injured reserve, and we're gonna recall Reichma, I guess. Yeah, not too terrible, I suppose. Alright, the Blackhawks are in town for the last game of the month. They are 30-20-5. That's good for second in the conference. We are 1-1-1 against the Hawks. We did, I believe, win 7-2 against them earlier. Wendell Young is going to be a net for the Blackhawks, and Artus Irbe is going to be a net for us. Go Kings! Oh, we won 6-5 in overtime. We finally won a 1-goal game. I might get one. Don't I need to make it to a partner or whatever, affiliate or whatever it is that they call it, to be able to design my own emotes? Alright, so a 6-5 win in overtime. We were outshot 42-38. Alexander McGillney was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Steve Thomas was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Robert Reichel was the third star with 2 goals. Sellout crowd again. Chicago scored the first 2 goals of the games. Then Robert Reichel scored from Gary Valk and Robert Cron. Then Andrew Castles from Alexander McGillney and Andy Reimsha. It was 2-2. Then Chicago took a 3-2 lead before the end of the first period. Now in the second period, Andrew Castles tied the game from Alexander McGillney and Randy Wood, and then the Blackhawks scored twice. It was 5-3 Chicago after two. Didn't look too good, but in the third period, Robert Reichel scored from Rob Brown and Luc Robitaille, and then Ray Shepherd scored his 20th. From Wayne Gretzky and Jeff Smith, it was tied at 5. We had a fight between Randy Ladouceur and Denis Savard. Wow. I wonder if he did the spinorama during the fight. And then Joe Rickey played their hero in overtime from Mike Ridley and Alexander McGillney. We needed that win, so we end the month at least with a W. I don't think they have. Oh. Joe Rickey is hurt, but he's going to be able to continue playing. I mean, have you looked at my D? They have heard of the concept. They're just not apt enough to, apply it. Alright, League says no suspension for Randy Muller with the Hartford Whalers, no suspension for him. Strong game for Dale Hawerchuk. He had 3 goals and an assist in that same game against Hartford. Dale Hawerchuk extends his goal streak to 5 games with 3 goals and an assist. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 15 games, 2 goals and an assist against the Flyers. Joe Lotto is back from suspension in Calgary. Suspension for Daniel Marois with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's going to miss 7 games. Steve Yzerman is day-to-day in Detroit. Suspension for Ken Sabourin with Detroit. He's going to miss 4 games in the January scouting. Nah, I think I'm gonna stay fan of the Sens at this point. I've been committed for too long. I won't lie, I'm probably gonna have a soft spot for the Nordiques, but when they're gonna be facing off, it's gonna be full-on Sens cheering. Alright, Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 16 games with a goal and an assist against Washington. Larry Murphy in that same game extended his point streak to 15 games with an assist. Alright, Wayne Gretzky, Luc Robitaille, Artus Irbe, Ray Shepherd, and Francois Graves sold the most jerseys in January. There you have it, FJ. Francois Graves. You're right, I suffered too much. I've seen some terrible teams. The Sens were really good at the start of the 2000s, though. And in the entire league, Gretzky was 8th and Robitaille 13th. Joe Sakic extends with the Nordiques. 2 more years in Quebec City. And the players of the month were Larry Murphy and Wayne Cawley. Oh wow, Wayne Cawley won goaltender of the month with his 1-star talent. Alright, so it's not looking good. We are 9th in the conference. We have really dropped. As it stands, we're missing the playoffs. 6. That many. 6 kids have a Gravel poster on their wall. But that's because they only made 6 posters. They never thought that they would need any more than that. So I'm in danger of missing the playoffs. The good news is that all of those teams here, all the way to 6th position, are catchable. So I just need to get a little bit on a winning streak there. Bad news is that I don't know what to do at this point. I thought that Gretzky coming back would help. It really didn't. So, and we lost Gary Galley. So I don't know. I'm gonna go and capture Rob Blake or something. A good old-fashioned kidnapping is probably my only resort at this point. But anyway, so we're not doing too good. Alright, so yeah, we're still doing better than the Sens, who still haven't won since we faced them in the middle of the month there. So them and the Sharks are still the two worst teams in the league by far. So the Sharks and the Sens, not great. Alright, let's take a look at some of our stats. Our best player is Luc Robitaille with 67 points in 48 games. Castles has 62 and 49. Mogilny 57 and 51. Shepard 57 and 46. Reichel 49 and 51. Then it goes down from there. We're not looking too good. Gretzky has 26 and 18. Right, and in the entire league, the best goal scorer is Mario Lemieux, 48 goals. The best passer is Steve Yzerman with 67 assists. Lemieux already has 100 points, 106 to be more exact. That's 10 more than Pierre Turgeon. Yeah, I'm curious to see who it is that they're going to get. They did get Yashin like they did in real life. I thought it was kind of funny. Right, and of course we're not... Francois Graves is 12th in the league for save percentage with 899 save percentage. Yeah, Irby has been rough a little bit. After winning the Vezina in his first season... Yeah, Francois Graves didn't even play in real life. That's all gravy for him. That's, you know, he never played in the NHL, and here he is playing in LA, hanging out with Hollywood stars and stuff. Alright, so I'm going to debate a Gretzky trade. Who knows, maybe I'm gonna pull the trigger on it. Maybe I'm gonna be able to find a suitable trade that would make sense for me. I really need help on D. I'm struggling too much on D to be able to continue like that. I'm not saying that I absolutely will trade Gretzky per se, but I need to address it. I don't know what to do though. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here for today. I think I saved. I'm just gonna do it again. So I'm stopping here. It's time for my nap. So I do want to thank you for tuning in. Welcome back, FJ. Thankfully you avoided COVID. As a grizzled vet of COVID, I know that it's not fun to deal with that. I can't get Kirk McLean. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. If you're watching this on YouTube later and that you've liked the video and the back and forth with me and FJ, go ahead and put a like or subscribe or share or comment or whatever. ARG out. I'm kinda tired. You have a good one. Thank you.